Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this procedure safely. In this video, we will show one or more of these icons to alert you when to use caution. Most string trimmer repairs will require some disassembly of the product. Before you attempt this, make sure the engine has cooled, and remove the wire and boot from the spark plug to prevent the engine from accidentally starting. To access components like the recoil starter pulley and rewind spring, simply remove the screws securing the recoil starter assembly. Pull the starter assembly off and set it on a sturdy surface. When the repair is complete, realign the assembly on the main housing and replace the screws to secure. To access the primer bulb and carburetor, rotate the knob to release the filter cover and remove the air filter. Now remove the nuts and screw securing the filter housing. You can now use pliers to depress the tabs to release the primer bulb from the housing. Detach the Z-end of the throttle cable from the carburetor and set the filter housing assembly aside to fully access the carburetor. When the repair is complete, attach the Z-end of the throttle cable to the carburetor. Reposition the primer bulb in the filter housing and snap it into place. Realign the housing on the mounting bolts and replace the screw and nuts to secure. Reposition the air filter. Realign the filter cover and rotate the knob to secure. If your string trimmer comes with a pruner head attachment, you can substitute it for the trimmer head by first loosening the locking nut, then loosen the knob securing the lower drive shaft. Depress the alignment pin to fully release the lower drive shaft and trimmer head assembly. Now insert the pruner attachment drive shaft into the upper drive shaft until the alignment pin snaps into place. Tighten the knob first. Then tighten the locking nut. To gain access to the throttle control components, first remove the locking screw securing the handle to the engine housing. Then remove the remaining handle screws. Use a flathead screwdriver to help separate the two halves of the handle. If you need to access the clutch or ignition coil, first note the orientation of the spring, then detach the spring to release the throttle control. Now remove the throttle cable from the control. Next, disconnect the switch wire connector. Now loosen the screws securing the upper drive shaft and pull the shaft out. Remove the screws securing the top cover. Pull the cover off. Uninstall the screws securing the clutch cover. Lift the cover off to reach the clutch and ignition coil. When the repair is complete, Reposition the clutch cover and secure it with the screws. Realign the top cover and replace the screws to secure. Reposition the upper drive shaft and use the locking screw to help align the screw holes. Now tighten the outside screws to secure the shaft. And remove the locking screw. Reconnect the switch wire connector. Reinsert the throttle cable into the slot on the control. Insert the spring into the control and align the assembly on the mounting pin on the handle. Make sure the spring is fully seated on the pin, and align both the switch wire and throttle cable in the groove on the handle. Reassemble the two halves of the handle, and replace the screws to secure. Align the handle with the engine housing, and replace the locking screw to secure. Once fully reassembled, reattach the wire and boot to the spark plug, and your string trimmer should be ready for use.